Paranormal Andy and Phantom Dark Dave. The Screaming Skull Podcast.
What's up, everybody? You're listening to a brand new episode of the Screaming Skull Podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Phantom Dark Dave.
And I'm Abnormal Andy.
And Andy, I know the last 3 episodes we were like, we're so excited. It's spooky season. But my dude, October has officially started.
It has, man. As we're recording, this is the first day of October.
Oh man, I can feel it. There's something in the air, and it's not a fart. It's something positive.
Yeah.
It's the awareness that the world says, you know what? For the next 30 days, we will celebrate Halloween, and I'm all about it.
Yeah. I actually, the last couple of days, I had a little bit of free time. So I watched Halloween 4, 5, and 6.
No shit. I just watched Halloween 4 a couple weeks ago too.
Cool. You know, Halloween 4 is kind of like, for me, is like a kick off the Halloween season type movie. I don't know about you.
Yeah, there's a lot of good representation for the season, and we know 4, 5, and 6 is a pretty cool trilogy all on its own.
Yeah.
The Curse of Thorn.
Yeah.
But you know what, Andy? We're not
What's
talking
that?
about that today. You know why? Because that's too new.
It's too new. Yeah, it's too fresh. We're anti-fresh in this episode.
That's right. I told you there was something in the air. But no, we were throwing back some ideas. We've done a lot of movie reviews. We do some top fives, but we really wanted to kind of celebrate the Halloween season. And we thought, hey, let's do a couple of top fives. That way we don't have to crunch too much numbers, and notes and everything. And then, Lord and behold, instead, we're just crunching a whole bunch of movie watching in, which that's what it's all about anyway. But for this episode, man, we're going to talk about top 5 horror movies. And this is going to be the classic episode, which we drew the line right at 1969. So anything before 1970. And Andy and I were talking, we were trying to figure out what makes what is the criteria for this episode? Like, what are the rules? What are the boundaries? And originally I was dancing around the idea, okay, what movies are like the classic horror movies that, maybe take place on Halloween? But then I was like, but wait a minute, there's other horror movies that are just great to watch around Halloween. And so we started talking about this back and forth. And Andy, correct me if I'm wrong, we just kind of threw all the rules and regulations out the window. We're just going to do like, hey, we like these 5 movies for, Halloween.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, it's like I was looking for movies that had that Halloween feel, that kind of spooky vibe. I don't know, like maybe they're set during the fall time, or maybe they're set during Halloween or something like that. That's kind of the rules I had for myself. But just mainly movies that had that spooky feeling to it, that the Halloween atmosphere, basically.
It's kind of like what we did for Christmas, where we talked about some Christmas movies, but we also talked about The Thing from Another World. That's not a Christmas movie, but because it's very wintry, it makes it feel like one. And so that we're going
Yeah,
with the vibe. So
exactly. Yeah.
I love it. And so, as always, we didn't discuss this beforehand. We have no idea what's actually on each other's list. We're going to have an honorable mention, and then we'll throw down. But, we wouldn't be surprised if we have at least a couple of crossovers, because there are some classic horror movies out there that surely will be on one of our lists.
Yeah, so the whole idea behind these 2 episodes for the month of October, we wanted to create like the ultimate Halloween movie marathon. And it's going to be a list made up of 10 movies. And so to start it off with this episode, we each picked 5 quote unquote classic movies, before 1970. So, and then the next episode we're going to each have a top 5 more modern movies we like to watch around Halloween.
Isn't it so
So,
funny that we call
yeah.
it that too? Because somebody's going to hear this episode and be like, 1970 is not modern. I'm like, well, when you're
Yeah.
watching movies from the 1900s, it is, okay?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, in the realm of cinema, the 70s and up is more modern, yeah.
And something else you and I were talking about is in the 70s, that's kind of when horror really changed too. And so that's actually a really good place to draw that line.
Yeah, yeah, because you went from the sci-fi monster horror of the 50s, you got the gothic horror of the 60s, and then the 70s you got the splatter, the exploitation, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. And, before we dive into this list, I know we're right there, but I want to ask you this question. You kind of touched on a little bit, but looking at these movies, just in your opinion, when you were judging what makes the cut, What is it that you were looking for the most? Like, what defines this as a classic horror movie to watch this time of the year?
So for me, a lot of it had to do with the feel. Just did it have that autumn feeling, that fall feeling? Was it set around Halloween? Did they mention Halloween? Was there like trick or treating going on? Did it have something to do with like ghosts or witches or something like that? Kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, and see, that's
Or
where I'm
yeah.
at too, is when I thought about it, I was like, when I think of Halloween, I think of like witches and ghosts and goblins and ghouls and stuff like that. And so they just used to make a lot more of those movies back in the day. And so it was really fun to kind of examine some of these. And it's kind of funny because, dude, I think some of these would fall on our everyday watch list, but there's something special about putting it for this.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right, so how do you want to do this, man? Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Then I will go first. Let's kickstart this off with my honorable mention, and I'm going to go ahead and just get this out of the way right now. My honorable mention is 1954's Creature from the Black Lagoon. And the
Oh,
reason I'm doing that, yeah, is because everybody knows this is pretty much my favorite horror movie, horror franchise, horror everything. I love the Gill Man. But man, I'd be cheating the listeners and the screamers out if I just put that at number one. It's too predictable. And, I'd watch it every single day. My birthday just passed, and Julie and I watched all three Creature movies in one day. That's how I wanted to celebrate it, and that's what we did. It was great. And so the reality is I cannot have a classic horror movie list without mentioning Universal Monsters. And so I'm giving it to 1954's The Gill Man. Honorable mention, just getting it out of the way because I love it. Andy, I'll just immediately throw it to you.
that's an awesome pick, man. I know it may be like nobody may be surprised, but I just love that you're like really committed to that.
I
You
am
know,
committed. We're going to go swimming with the fish man.
yeah, that's a great pick. I love that movie too. It's not on my list, unfortunately. Okay, here's my honorable mention. So, this is a new movie that I had not seen before we started talking about this episode idea. And so I was like, man, I want to like watch some movies, kind of see if there's any new movies out there that I might discover through, this research. And that's always exciting. So I'm going to throw this movie out there. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely one that has that gothic horror feel. It is Black Sunday, Mario
Okay.
Bava.
Yes.
Barber Steel, man, it's like in the 60s, made in the 60s. And it just has that kind of gothic horror feel to it. Very spooky. They're in like a castle setting. And man, I really enjoyed that movie. I was glad that I watched it, and it just barely didn't make the list. There's some other movies that kind of edged it out, but
Do you
that
remember
stuff.
I have that t-shirt?
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's a great movie, dude. Great
Yeah.
choice. Barbara Steele is one of those actresses who I think has become synonymous with Halloween, just all the stuff that she did, all the Italian horror with the witches and ghouls, because she plays a witch in so many movies. It's fantastic. I love that pick so much because I made this huge list of films to consider, and that was definitely one for consideration, but it did not make my list. So I'm really happy that at least it got an honorable mention from you. All right, man. My number five, 1968's Night of the Living Dead. I know
Oh
it's a heavy hitter. It's a
yeah.
big, big movie. It's a lot of people's number one, and it should be because it is an awesome movie. It's a polarizing zombie movie made by Mr. Zombie himself, not Rob, but George A. Romero. It tells a story, a group of people trapped in a farmhouse, and there's a plague of flesh eaters that are trying to break in. And the reason that it makes my list is because one, it's always great to have a zombie movie on your list. Two, it kind of changed the game for zombie movies because before this, the turn, like they didn't even say zombie in this movie, but what we associate zombies today with really started in this movie. Before this, it was like a voodoo type thing, and in this one, it was like eating your flesh. And then it wasn't until the Return of the Living Dead where we got the brains comment, but that's okay because this movie's in black and white. It's glorious. It's groundbreaking, and I think the thing I like about it the most is the lead performance from the guy that played Ben. His name was Dwayne Jones, and this was the first movie he ever did. But he, rest in peace. He'll go down in history, just like George A. Romero, for how remarkable this movie is.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a brave pick, to make a person of color like your lead in your movie. It's a really cool idea. You got to give it credit.
For sure. And I remember watching a little bit of behind the scenes stuff because people did ask that question. They're like, were you trying to say anything, Da 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 da. And he's just like, no, man, the reality is I'm here to make a horror movie.
Yeah.
And Dwayne was the best actor that auditioned. And that's so cool because again, it was his first movie, but he is a standout actor in this movie.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so I know I'm coming out of the gate hot with a really
You
big
are.
one, but I'm ready to fight. Let's go. What do you got for number five?
Okay, my number five. This might be a surprise that it's not higher on my list, but there's some better movies out there. But my number five is The Wolfman. Lon Chaney Jr. I mean, this movie has werewolves, it has that gothic kind of horror feeling, like the woods, the spooky woods, and the gypsy, the curses. It's even got Bela Lugosi playing a bit part. Man, I don't know. There's just something about this movie that it definitely has that Halloween feeling for me.
Oh, this movie is loaded with atmosphere. It's so great. I'm so happy that you have a Universal monster on your list. It's okay that it's not the Gillman because it's at least the Wolfman. And funny side story, the Wolfman's my second favorite Universal monster. So I'm really happy that you like it as well. And yeah, it's so cool that Bella's in this movie because he actually plays a guy named Bella. He's like
Yeah.
the gypsy fortune teller. And I love that it's on your list. And yeah, I mean, some people can be kind of like shocked that it's not higher on your list. But like you said, there are a lot of great horror movies out there. So the fact that there are so many and this made just the five, I love it.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? So sometimes I work with elderly people, and I actually had a guy that I was taking care of and helping, and he literally had a cane that had the same like wolf's head on it,
Oh,
silver and
wow.
everything. And I said to him, I looked at him and I go, hear me out. Like, is this 1941 Lon Chaney Jr. cane? And though it's not like the same one, he's like, you're the only person who's ever caught that. And I just shook his hand as quick as I could, man, because I thought that was great. I'm guessing it's in his top five too.
Yeah, I bet. That's awesome. Yeah.
All right, my number four. It's another big one. It's
Yeah.
1959's House on Haunted Hill.
Oh, okay.
And, this is a William Castle classic that stars Vincent Price. It's about a millionaire who offers $10,000 to anyone who can stay overnight, locked inside of his house. But unbeknownst to everyone who does, they're in grave danger, man. And oh, this is such a cool movie because at this time period, this was a movie that literally was scary. Like, it has amazing visuals and it has a lot of great jump scares.
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. This is my number four as well. So I'll just go ahead and talk about it now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great movie. It's Vincent Price. It's set in an old haunted house. It's William Castle, man. I mean,
Right? There's a gimmick somewhere.
yeah. So I mean, the dude, yeah, like it would have been so awesome to be in the theater and see this like in the theater with the gimmick with the skeleton flying at you and
Yes.
stuff. Man, I just really wanted to kind of be there to experience that. So just in that spirit, man, I feel like this movie is just was made for like to be watched during Halloween.
Yes.
And it may not be quite the same watching it on our big screen TVs at home, but I can imagine I can have fun with it.
For sure. And I'll tell you this one part. In the movie, there's a scene where a lady's kind of against a wall and it's pitch black darkness, and the only light you have is kind of just where she's standing. And then when she kind of rises up, and then that old lady just kind of comes out of nowhere. The first time
Yeah.
I had seen this movie, that scared the bejesus out of me, dude. I was just like, I didn't know they had this like type of scare system in here. And then you go to the scenes that have like that pit and the floating skeleton. I mean, how could you not love this movie?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of cool things in this one, for sure.
I really like the remake too. Like, obviously, this one is the preferred version, but the 1999 remake also had a lot of cool stuff. And I think one of the neatest little things that the original one definitely had was the scene with all the like mini coffins and they had guns inside. I thought that
Yeah.
was just like the aesthetic of seeing that is super cool.
Yeah, like people kind of shit on the remake, but I enjoyed it, man. I remember seeing it in the theater. You have Chris Kattan, is that the guy from
Yep.
Night at the Roxbury and
Yep.
Famke
And then you
Janssen?
had Jeffrey Rush playing the main character who was actually
Yeah,
named Price. That was a really cool nod.
yeah. I
But
mean, that movie had a really cool feel. That movie is just a movie on its own. It doesn't really compare to the older movie, like the original version, but it's pretty good in its own right. And I know I actually kind of like the way that the ending happened with the big ghost thing. I
Mm.
thought that was really cool, but I know a lot of people didn't like that, but I liked it.
Well, I tell you what, I liked it too, so we should do it on the podcast sometime.
Yeah, sure.
Hell yeah. All right, let's move to the middle of the list. Now, my number three is probably one that is the most obscure of all the movies that we're going to talk about today, and I'm curious if you've seen it. It's from 1940. It's called You'll Find Out.
Wow, I have never heard of this movie.
All right, so here we go. This is a horror comedy that stars Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, Peter Lorre, and Kay Kaiser. Okay, of
Okay.
all people. And it's very similar to The House on Haunted Hill in a way that it involves like a whole bunch of people that are trapped inside of a giant house. But this time, not only is it packed with great visuals, there's a lot of great pranks and certain hidden agendas. This is definitely a horror comedy, but it's hard to find. And so I had to go digging for this one because our buddy Jed Bryan, writer and director of Unlisted Owner, he put this one on my radar because he knows how much I love the classics, and so he's like, "Dude, you got to see this movie." And so I checked it out, and yeah, dude, this is one that is not only worth like a one-time watch. This is a great rewatch. This movie's a lot of fun, and I'll put it like this: if Clue was a classic horror movie, it'd be this movie.
Oh, okay.
So it's from 1940. It's called You'll Find Out. If you can find it, watch it.
All right.
What do you got for number three?
Okay, my number three is it's one that we've already talked about. It's Night of the Living Dead.
Great.
This one, man, this is one of the first ones that popped into my head. And I think the reason why I always associate this with Halloween time is because of Halloween 2. You know, you have the older couple watching Night of the Living Dead, and the wife is making Harold a sandwich. Harold, you want mayonnaise on your sandwich? You know, and
He's asleep.
he's asleep, man. So it's that. So watching that movie always kind of like ties in with Halloween with me, like Halloween Part 2. And so then that just automatically makes it, the perfect movie to watch during the Halloween season for me.
I remember back when you and I talked about Halloween 2 and that scene came up, you were like, this is going to be me when I'm older. Like talking about
Probably.
yourself. I was like, is Melissa going to make you a sandwich, bro?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
so awesome. I'm glad we both have this movie in our list. Dude, wasn't this just like genre defining for the subgenre of zombies?
It was. I mean, yeah, because every zombie movie that has been made after that has been modeled after this movie. I
Yep.
mean,
And
yeah.
like The Walking Dead specifically, like still that slow paced
Yeah.
zombies and, flesh eating. And what's really crazy about this movie is it's like 1968 time frame. But dude, it is still rated like TVMA. Like there is the the practical gore that's in this movie is so well done, and we all know like when you're filming in black and white, you can make things look a lot more realistic than not. And dude, even there's like nudity that pops up. Like there's a lot of surprising things that like they swung for the fences back then, but dude, they hit a home run.
Yeah, I mean, and for me, like black and white movies are not quite as scary, but I mean, but I love them. But this movie is actually still scary to me. This movie still keeps me on the edge of my seat, even though I know what's going to happen. Like, this movie has a lot of suspense to it. The zombies look great. I mean, just the acting is great from top to bottom. Everything is great about this movie. I mean, George Romero, he's got to be like, if they had like a horror Hall of Fame, he's got to be in it for, you know,
100%.
yeah, just for being such a uh groundbreaker, in the zombie genre, but just like in horror, I think he kind of helped usher in the 70s with this movie.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, we may get to the sequels when we do our next episode, but that whole franchise, and if nothing else, that zombie trilogy is fantastic. And dude, I mean, when we were watching Night of the Living Dead the other day, because Julie had never seen it, and I was like, cool, let's watch it. We hopped over on Peacock, and Peacock has it, but it's like really, really bad quality. And I was like, crap. Well, luckily and unfortunately, with the copyright of this movie, it streams like everywhere. If you go on Tubi, they actually have a beautiful high definition restoration of it, and it
Oh
is
wow.
great. So if you're somebody who's typically turned off by kind of the older movies, give it a watch on Tubi because the restoration of it is so good that I think you'd get through it where maybe normally you wouldn't.
Yeah.
All right, my number two is from 1964. It's The Mask of the Red Death.
Oh, okay.
And so, this is a movie again that brings out Vincent Price. And this is actually the movie that made me a Vincent Price fan. This was one I saw early on. And it's a reimagining and combination of a couple of Edgar Allan Poe's stories, Mask of the Red Death and Hot Frog. In this movie, Vincent Price plays an evil prince who worships Satan. So there you go. And it's pretty interesting because there's like this plague that kills a lot of the townspeople. And so for a lot of the survivors, Vincent Price invites them to come to his castle for a giant celebration. But we all know what happens in a Vincent Price movie, my dude. Somebody's going to die. And I think out of all the movies on my list, this one has the absolute best atmosphere, and it's the only film on my list that's in color. So check
Oh,
that
yeah.
out. But the reason I bring that up is because the vibrance of like the blood red in this is pretty compelling. And hey, this movie was directed by Roger Corman.
Oh, nice.
It's great. This is back
Yeah.
in the day when Netflix used to be awesome. They had a whole bunch of Vincent Price movies and stuff. I had watched this one early on, and this one always stayed with me. If you haven't seen it, it's insane.
Yeah, I've not never seen this movie, so I definitely need to check it out. It just wasn't even on my radar for even this topic. So yeah, I'm definitely have to check it out. Like,
Well,
because
it barely made it, 1964.
yeah, I like the story. I've read the Edgar Allan Poe story, so definitely. So I definitely want to check out the movie. Vincent Price. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Agreed.
All right, so let's see here. My number two. Now this
I
is
don't want to hear
another.
about your number two. That's nasty.
Yeah. So this is another movie that I hadn't seen until doing research for this podcast episode. And amazing enough, it got all up to my number two. But I think this movie really has a cool, spooky feel to it that it just sits well with me for Halloween. And that is 13 Ghosts, William Castle.
Nice.
Yeah. It's got ghosts. It's got ghosts. It's got even one of the characters dresses up as a ghost. I don't want to put any spoilers out there, but yeah, it's a great mystery movie, and I love the twist. That you find out as the movie goes on, and so
Did you
yeah.
watch it in 2D or 3D?
Oh, just 2D.
Okay. I absolutely love your pick. 13 Ghost is amazing, and you can't say enough great things about anything that William Castle has ever done. I had seen the remake first back when it came out, and because of that, it made me go watch the original. I remember buying it at a Suncoast, and I freaking love this movie as well. Unfortunately, it's not on my list, but I'm so happy that you finally saw it and that you liked it so much.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. I mean, I might even put it on Halloween. Who knows? But
Hey,
yeah, it's
that bed, bro,
oh well,
right?
I don't really want that bed,
No, no, no. I
but
couldn't sleep comfortably, but
yeah.
again, just things that they did in the movie, especially that time period. I'm like, wow, like even sometimes you watch a movie and then the ending makes you so happy because it's something you didn't see coming or it was just so creative. And it's so great to be able to watch an older movie and still get that feeling of something fresh and new.
Yeah, they did have some pretty cool things going with the ghosts and like the lion tamer, and I thought
Yes.
that was kind of a little bit of funny, I guess. But yeah, the way the story's played out is very kind of like I don't want to say edgy, but definitely was suspenseful, and it was good. It was really good.
Yeah, he's really good with suspense, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I can barely take the suspense of our number ones, man. Here we go. I don't know if we'll have the same one or not,
Oh man,
but
that'd be funny.
that would be funny. But maybe we got that out of the way already. So,
Yeah.
my number one, we're bringing back William Castle.
Okay.
We're bringing back Vincent Price.
Yeah.
I didn't set out to make a Vincent Price list, even though it kind of happened. But the reality is Vincent Price is Halloween in my book. This is the cheesiest, the schlockiest, and one of the most entertaining horror films of all time. It is 1959's The Tingler.
Oh yeah, it's such a great movie. Yeah, that's a cool one. It didn't make my list, but that is a really cool one. I really like that one.
Just like you, when I think of Halloween, I think of the atmosphere and I think of all of the mythical things like ghouls and goblins and ghosts and everything. And I mean, nobody does it better than Vincent Price. Nobody does it better than William Castle. So when they join forces, you know I'm going to be there for it. And this is a movie that I've seen a countless number of times. You know, Vincent Price is plays a doctor, and he's making a discovery of this creature, kind of like a parasite that lives on your spine, and it curls up every time when you scream is the only way to release it. And it's such a wild, out there monster movie idea, but they sell it, man, and I'm here to believe it. And then you have a character who lives above a movie theater because he owns and operates it. And then the things that happen between these two guys, I'm just like, I'm over the moon for it, man. I'm here for it. I love the Tingler. It's the Tingler. Like, it's the greatest thing in the world. And when I thought of this list, that one definitely made it. But then when I started really getting down to putting these things in order, I was like, how could I not have this at number one? And I'm kind of shocked it's not your number one, but I'm also really happy because that means that I don't know what your number one is.
Yeah, so my number one, yeah, it's this movie, especially the main actor and the character he plays, it really, for me, it personifies Halloween, and that is Dracula. Bram Stoker, or not Bram Stoker, Bela
Somebody's going to
Lugosi.
get sued.
This is,
Yes.
Bela Lugosi as Dracula. I mean, just that image of him, that epitomizes Halloween for me. That is like that's Halloween, And as far as like older classic movies, this is it. I mean, I love, his line, "Oh, the creatures of the night, listen to them sing," or whatever, however it goes. Like I'm totally
He loves the
butchering it,
line. Yeah,
but
what music they make.
yeah, with the music they make, yeah.
Yeah.
So such a perfect movie for Halloween, like a spooky, gothic, just all around cool movie.
It's so cool because one, again, Universal monsters are brought up. I love it. But two, I mean, if you say Dracula, this is the image that everybody thinks of first. Like Bela Lugosi owns it, and I mean, you're not necessarily wrong when you say Bram Stoker because that story is pulled from there.
Yeah.
But 1931, man, I mean, what else can you say that hasn't been said? I love that it's your number one because I agree with you in the way that I think this does truly capture everything about Halloween. And I also think after hearing both of these lists that we don't do enough classic horror movies on this podcast, and we should.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Awesome. And so that wraps up my five and your five. And on the next podcast episode, we're going to do more modern ones, but it's going to be really interesting because I feel like it's already going to be a tough list to try to decipher.
Oh yeah, trying to whittle it down to five, it's gonna be near impossible. We're gonna have like, can we have like 10 honorable mentions?
We can, especially because I'm on here. You know, I'm going to be bringing that kind of fire. I mean, dude, you could have top five Bela Lugosi, top five Boris Karloff. I mean,
Oh
top
man,
five
yeah,
Vincent Price. Everybody deserves their own list. But at the end of the day, the best thing I have for the listeners is that no matter what movies make the list, they're all great.
yeah, exactly.
All right, so thank you guys for checking out this episode. Stay tuned because the next one that comes out is going to be our five horror movie recommendations from the 70s and beyond. That does it for me. That does it for you. I'm Phantom Dark Dave.
And I'm Abnormal Andy.
Thanks for listening to the Scream and Skull podcast.
See ya.